Let's get this out of the way first. Okay, what is the best way to actually stay focused for longer? By not focusing so hard doesn't make sense, right? But there are two parts to this. First, we need to redefine what it means to focus. Second, you'll learn how to crave focus more than any other activity. Part 1. Redefining focus. What does it mean to focus anyway? Most of us think that focus means intense concentration on something so that nothing else matters. We shut out the world, go into the zone. When we come up for air, we wonder why our brains are fried. Turns out that this kind of intense focus is actually pretty bad for your brain. It doesn't teach your brain how to focus at all. In fact, most experts agree that this kind of intense focus is a skill that you don't develop. You're just crushing it for now. So here's my working definition of focus. Focus is about getting stuff done. That's it. Now you might say, yeah, that's obvious, Brian. Well, no, it's not. Because when we reframe focus like this, we can start using different techniques depending on the type of work that we're doing. For example, some kinds of work require intense concentration. Reading a book, or taking notes, or watching a lecture. Those are times where you should use the techniques that you already know. Things like blocking out distractions, or using timers, or taking breaks. A lot of work doesn't require that kind of intense focus. Working on your business plan, designing a presentation, planning your marketing strategy, those are all tasks where you want to use a different technique. One that helps you maintain low levels of focus for long periods of time. This is what you really want to learn because this is where focus can be most useful to you. Learning how to stay laser focused for 30 minutes, an hour, a whole day without burning out. So here are 3 simple steps to help you do just that. Step no. 1. Set a timer for 30 minutes. Now you could set a timer for 60 minutes, 90 minutes, but 30 minutes is a good place to start. Your goal with the timer is to just show up for 30 minutes of work. Don't aim to finish anything. Don't aim to check off any task. You're just going to see if you can show up for 30 minutes of work. If you can't commit to 30 minutes, then just start with 15. And if 15 minutes is too much, then start with 5. The important thing is to just show up for the work. So turn on the timer and sit down and start working on whatever you have to do. Now, if you find yourself struggling to start, here's a little trick. Some people find it hard to start when they have a bunch of options available to them. So close all of your apps, except the one that you're working on. Do what I call the one-tab rule. Close all the tabs, minimize all the distractions. Make sure you have only one tab open, the one that you're supposed to be working on. And if you find that you still can't get started, then it's probably because you don't have a clear goal for your 30 minutes. Maybe you just sat down to do your taxes and you just sat there staring at the screen wondering where to start. So here's what you do. Write it down. Take 5 minutes to write down exactly what you want to accomplish in these 30 minutes. So take 5 minutes to write down your one tiny goal that you know will move you forward on your taxes. Maybe it's just to understand what forms you need to file, or maybe it's to gather all the documents you need. Whatever that tiny goal is, write it down, get it out of your head, and put it on paper. Then you can take a deep breath and dive into your work. When the timer rings, stop. Stop what you're doing. Stand up, walk around, stretch, shake it off. Don't keep working because your brain will love you for giving it a break. This is part 2 of making focus work for you. Don't overdo it. A common mistake that many of us make is that we overwork focus. We grit our teeth, we clench our fists, we force ourselves to keep going. But when we approach focus this way, we teach our brain to hate focus. It becomes this stressful experience that we need to push through. Instead, we want to teach our brain to crave focus. And the way we do that is by making it feel good. Whenever you accomplish something, your brain releases a chemical cocktail of awesome. These chemicals include dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. Dopamine makes us feel motivated and excited. Serotonin makes us feel calm and focused. And endorphins make us feel relaxed and happy. Together, they make us feel great. And the more often you associate focus with feeling great, the more your brain will crave focus. So whenever you finish a focus session, no matter how big or small, celebrate it. Give yourself a pat on the back. Take a moment to appreciate what you accomplished. Or if you prefer, you can bribe your brain with a cookie. Just make sure it's a healthy cookie with lots of nutrients and fiber. Here are some additional tips to make focus feel good. Find ways to make your work more engaging. Break up your work into smaller chunks and reward yourself after each chunk. Reflect on how good you feel after a focus session. Don't wait until the end of the day to do this. Do it while it's fresh in your mind. Okay, let's bring it together. Redefine focus. Think of it as a tool to get stuff done rather than this intense experience where you block everything out. Learn how to crave focus. Associate focus with positive feelings, with the release of those feel-good chemicals. And here's the actual practice. Set a timer for 30 minutes. Show up for work for just 30 minutes. Don't aim to finish anything. Don't aim to get anything done. Just show up. If you can't make it to 30 minutes, then start with 15 or start with 5. But make sure you show up. When the timer goes off, stop working. Take a break. Celebrate your win. So now you know how to stay laser focused for 30 minutes, an hour, a whole day without burning out. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love my 6-step guide to productivity. I've taken the best evidence-based productivity tips from books like Indistractable, Deep Work, and the 12-Week Year and condensed them into a single framework. Once you get this guide, you'll have a clear step-by-step process for getting stuff done and reaching your goals. As a bonus, you will also get access to my newsletter where I'll keep you updated on my latest videos and research on productivity and focus. So go ahead and grab the guide. I'll see you on the next video. Are you still forgetting everything you study after just one day? If you answered yes, then you're in the right place. Welcome back to BrainFuel Station, where we pump your brain with effective study strategies. Today's brain tip is going to help you remember everything you study. And we are going to do this by fixing your review process. Yes, we're going to fix how you study so that you can remember more. And to do this, we're first going to introduce a study system called Retrieval Plus Teaching. Sounds interesting, right? Well, it really is. It's very simple. There's only 2 steps. Step no. 1. Study hard for 25 minutes and take a 2-minute break to teach a 10-year-old what you just learned. Step no. 2. The next day, review your notes without rereading. Close your book and quiz yourself on what you studied. Let me say this again. Do not reread your notes. Okay, close your book and quiz yourself. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why would I want to teach a 10-year-old or quiz myself? Like, why is this step even necessary? Well, it turns out there's a real reason behind these steps. So make sure you watch till the end of this video so that you understand the full process. Let's get into our study session. We're going to start the timer. First thing you want to do is put on your headphones and listen to some lo-fi beats. This will help you focus. Next, grab your favorite notebook and pick up a pen. Next, search up the topic you want to learn about and make sure you have at least 4 subtopics. For example, if I was learning about World War II, my 4 subtopics could be the causes of World War II, key figures during World War II, major battles, or significant events. Next, I'm going to use the Pomodoro method to study each subtopic for 5 minutes straight. In case you don't know how the Pomodoro method works, let me explain. The Pomodoro method is a technique that helps you work for longer periods of time without distractions. To use this method, all you have to do is set a timer for 25 minutes and work non-stop until the timer goes off. Then take a 5-minute break and repeat this process. In total, we're going to do 4 rounds of this. That means we'll study for 25 minutes straight and take a 2-minute break. At the end of the 4th round, we're going to take a longer break of 20 to 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and start the timer. We're going to start with studying the causes of World War II for the next 5 minutes. As you can see, there's way too much information for me to read in just 5 minutes. So instead of reading, I'm going to quickly skim through the important points. Make sure you do anything else during these 5 minutes, like checking your phone or taking a quick nap. Your goal should be to try and memorize as much as possible in these 5 minutes. Now that the timer is almost up, get ready for the next step. In just 2 minutes, you have to explain the topic you just studied, which is the causes of World War II, to a 10-year-old. Make sure you keep it simple. Don't use any fancy words and make sure you're speaking out loud. This is what I would say. Hey, little one. I bet you didn't know that there were many causes for World War II. One cause was that Germany wanted to expand its territory, but it couldn't because other countries already owned those lands. Germany felt angry and wanted to take land from other countries by force. Another cause was that people were not happy with the treaty that ended World War I. Many people thought the treaty was unfair. Because of these causes and a few more, World War II began. Great job, round 1 is complete. All you have to do now is repeat the process 3 more times. After you finish explaining the topic to a 10-year-old, take a 5-minute break and do something fun like playing a video game or taking a quick nap. After 25 minutes, start a new timer and move on to the next subtopic. Repeat this process until you finish all the subtopics. Once you're done, take a 20 to 30-minute break. Now that we've finished all the subtopics, let's check if we remember everything we learned. Start by closing your book and trying to remember everything you learned. Once you think you remembered everything, open your book and check yourself. If you forgot something, circle it in your book so that you remember to study it more next time. If you remembered everything, great job. Move on to the next subtopic and repeat this process. The next day you and have to worry about remembering everything you studied, because the things you find difficult to remember, your brain will automatically remember. How does your brain do this? Well, it's simple. Your brain remembers what it struggles to recall. This is a scientifically proven phenomenon. A study published in the journal Psychological Science tested this theory. Participants had to memorize a list of words and then take a memory test. The researchers noticed that participants remembered words that they struggled to recall on the test more than words that they easily recalled. Basically, this means if you struggle to remember something, your brain will automatically pay more attention to it and remember it for a longer period of time. So how can we use this to our advantage? Well, it's simple. Just create a struggle while you're studying. Create a struggle by teaching the material to a younger sibling or recording yourself while you're re-explaining the material. This will help you remember what you studied for a longer period of time. But wait, there is an even better way to create a struggle while you're studying. You can do this by teaching a 10-year-old. Why 10-year-olds? Well, studies show that when you teach a 10-year-old something, you have to simplify your language and make sure that they fully understand the material. By doing this, you're forcing your brain to work harder while you're studying, which means your brain will pay more attention to the material and remember it for a longer period of time. But wait, there is an even better way to create a struggle while you're studying. You can do this by teaching a 10-year-old. Why 10-year-olds? Well, studies show that when you teach a 10-year-old something, you have to simplify your language and make sure that they fully understand the material. By doing this, you're forcing your brain to work harder while you're studying, which means your brain will pay more attention to the material and remember it for a longer period of time. Teaching a 10-year-old or creating a struggle while you restudying will help you remember what you study for a longer period of time. Let's get into the last part of the video. So far, we learned that if we want to remember what we study for a longer period of time, we have to teach a 10-year-old or create a struggle while we're studying. Now we're going to learn the last part of the process. In order to remember everything you study, you have to review it without rereading. We've all been taught to reread our notes if we want to remember them for a longer period of time. But research shows that rereading is not an effective way to remember things. So what should you do instead? Well, it's simple. Close your book and quiz yourself. By doing this, you're forcing your brain to actively recall information. This is an effective way to remember things for a longer period of time. As you can see, active recall is much more effective than rereading. Active recall is also known as retrieval practice. Retrieval practice is one of the most powerful study strategies out there. Studies show that it is 8 times more effective than rereading. So remember, if you want to remember what you study for a longer period of time, review it without rereading. Close your book and quiz yourself, and that's it. These are the 3 steps you have to follow if you want to remember what you study. That you know how to remember what you study. Here's your challenge. Use this strategy to get an A on your next test. And hey, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps us grow. Also, if you're still struggling to remember things, then watch this video next. See you guys next time.